to Rare Talks by Jjuliaa Gangwani, presented by the Blue Moon. In our third episode, we sit down with His Excellency Mr. Juan Angulo, the Ambassador of Chile to India, for a sweeping, reflective conversation. We talk about his 6 year journey in India, the impact of the Chilean president's visit, and the evolving contours of India Chile CEPA. And yes, this episode also features our first ever rapid fire round where diplomacy meets spontaneity. This is an episode filled with insight, legacy, and laughter. Let's listen in. Welcome to another insightful episode of Rare Talks by Jjuliaa Gangwani, presented by the Blue Moon. Today we are honored to have with us His Excellency Mr. Juan Angulo, Ambassador of Chile to India. With Chile and India sharing a vibrant diplomatic and trade relationship, this conversation will explore new opportunities, challenges, and the path forward in global cooperation. Ambassador, it's a pleasure to have you here. Welcome to the Rare Talks by Jjuliaa Gangwani, presented by the Blue Moon.
Thank you very much, Julia. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.
Ambassador, we have worked together and covered many interviews of you, and we have covered many culture, diplomacy about Chile and India relations in our magazine. So I'll start my question from your personal experience. Over your 6 transformative years in India, can you share an experience or insight that fundamentally reshaped your view Chile-India relations, particularly in terms of cultural exchange and trade innovation?
Thank you very much. Yes, well, it is true. I have been here for almost more than 6 years. I came here in February 2019, so I have been pre-COVID times. And I could say that one element that has surprised me a lot has been despite the distance, there is a cultural closeness in between the two nations, the two countries. We share values on family, for instance, tradition, respect of nature. There is also on the literature side a huge knowledge of Pablo Neruda, our writers in India that are very, very well known, and many people identify with them in the social aspects, in the poetic aspects. We are said that Chile is a country of poets, and in a way I find that many Indians like very much also this area, this poetry, and write and literature festivals are very well known here. We have Jaipur, we have Kolkata, several, and we have had in the past writers from Chile being part of these events. On the commercial part, of course, I must refer to the current negotiation of CEPA, Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement between Chile and India. And I must also say that this partnership is not being built in the emptiness. We are the only Latin American and Caribbean country that we have a bilateral agreement with India in trade and commerce. It was negotiated in 2005, it was signed in 2006, and is in force since 2007. And in 2017, after some years, we expanded it. So we have more than 15 years of knowledge in terms of the Commission to administrate this agreement. So we are working in that direction to expand and enhance our partnership with India.
Ambassador, now I move towards digital disruption and supply chain innovation. In today's era of digital transformation, how have emerging technologies reshaped the global supply chain for perishable, produce, and high-value commodities such as Chile's renowned kiwis, nuts, and even its expanding almond exports as well?
Yes, of course. Transformation, digital transformation, innovation, and is affecting supply chains, is affecting all processes in the world. Unfortunately, we are very much working on that areas, especially in agri-tech and innovation, where our producers have been able to incorporate new technologies in their production. I'm thinking, for instance, in Internet of the Things, traceability systems, systems based in artificial intelligence to forecast the demand, systems to improve the irrigation, different tools that modern technology are providing, and we are using those tools in a way that allows us to reach markets like such India with a very good, let's say, blueprint and a lot of traceability and taking care of the environment. We think that India and Chile in these aspects can be partners in terms that we have, for instance, very good cold change systems, and India has a very advanced working very good way in logistics. Being very far away, we think that the combination of these two elements are a win-win situation, and we are looking forward to increase this exchange of knowledge, technologies with India.
Ambassador, where we are talking about the digital disruption, so we cannot leave behind the strategic innovations and the emerging trends. So here my question for you is, Chile is famed for its quality produce, from delicate fresh foods to premium nuts. What unique competitive advantages do Chilean exports hold, and what innovations, whether in sustainability practices or agri-tech, are you more excited about? What could redefine these sectors in the global arena?
Well, we have, first of all, in all what is agri-technology, agri-business, the natural condition, which is our position in the world, our isolation. We are very far from India, but at the same time we are isolated by the range of mountains, the Andes on the west. If you see, Chile is very long. In the west, you have the Pacific Ocean. In the east, you have the Andes range of mountains. In the north, you have the driest desert in the world. In the south is glacier. So there is a kind of natural isolation that allows us to be free of several diseases or attacks that can affect the production of agricultural products. Secondly, we are in the south of the south, meaning that our production will arrive to India off-season in relation to the India production. And we have a climate, a Mediterranean climate, which is very, very healthy for the production of different, as you mentioned, kiwis, apples, cherries, walnuts, the grapes. The summers are almost no rain, and that allow a very good growth and price of the products. No rain implies also that there is a low probability of infections or diseases on the product. So from the natural point of view, this is one advantage. Geographically, also the off-season. But most important, or complementing those, is the technology that our producers are trying to introduce and been introducing since some years from now, that has allowed us to reach different markets with very, very, very high standards in phytosanitary, sanitary levels. I'm thinking, for instance, in technologies using drones to control the cultivations, some satellite imaging, some cold chain machinery based on renewable energies. All of this allows us to increase our yield, reduce losses, and also if you think of, for instance, e-commerce technology, that is also a way to connect people and anticipate changes in the demand. All this combination of acts allows us to reach very far markets as India with fresh products. If you consider that we are 10,000 miles away from India and we are able to reach products with fresh foods in India, it's incredible that you can do that with the quality and the trade relation to price and quality that are known for Chile. Many things of these are based on our innovation and the capacity of our producers to use the most advanced technologies available to bring products for the good of the Indian consumers.
Ambassador, on this, my question for you is that how do you see India and Chile collaborating to develop next generation logistic models, because the innovation we are talking about and the way digital transformation is moving at very fast pace. So how do you see India and Chile can collaborate to develop next generation logistic models and in that ensure the timely delivery, but we are talking the quality preservation for perishable and nuts?
Yes, I think that we need to continue using good use of the new technologies that are provided to us and develop new technologies that could be applicable in different fields. For instance, I know that in Chile there are several startups working, for instance, with bees.
Yes.
They are able to anticipate and use this with artificial intelligence and other tools to create and help the bees to polarize in a natural way different fields for cultivation. They have systems to prevent frost, for instance, in winter. So when they have a threat of frost, some machinery, some ventilators start working, and the temperature will increase, so the frost will pass, but will not affect the cultivation of different products. There are many examples of this kind of use of technology. Of course, the distance between India and Chile will stay the same. That will not change. The point is to work together in order to facilitate the commerce and trade between our two different, very distant countries. We have done that in the past with our clients in Asia, and I don't see any major obstacle why we could not do the same in India. There's a huge potential in this kind of business. The demands of products for food products for India is immense. Or will only continue growing because of the increased middle class in the country, and we would like very much to be part of this value chain for food security that India is looking for. We consider ourselves as a very reliable partner. That where you can find very good products with very high standards of production, sustainability standards of production, very good quality, and the transportation is also something that will not affect the quality of the nutrition of the goods. I am thinking, for instance, in our production of for fumigation, using not using bromine methyl, but for instance phosphate, that will not affect the quality of the products like avocados or some others that will be reaching the Indian market in very good conditions.
That is the quality, and how we can work on the logistic supply chain. That logistical challenges what we are facing, how this technology and innovation.
Yes, well, I think we have to integrate more the value chain. Where Indian producers, Indian Chilean producers, Indian technical people, Chilean technical people could meet and design and find out what could be the best way to bring one product from one country to another. I'm not saying only that will be exports from Chile to India. We think that it will be two ways. I am thinking, for instance, mangoes from India to Chile. the Indian producers will face the same problem that our cherry producers, because they have to put the product in the other side of the world in a good condition, good manner, and a reasonable cost, and with all the certifications and phytosanitary measures that are okay and acceptable for the other. Of course, within the CEPA, there are chapters on these sanitary measures. We are there to work together, and this is a good practical and concrete way to advance in this subject.
So that means we can say that it's still in the process to get a practical approach to overcome this challenge.
I think, Jjuliaa, all what we have discussed till now is a continuous process.
Yes.
New technologies are not static; they are coming all the time. So what I have just said as examples will be replaced or be complemented by new things that we are not now imagining because the problem is not there. But I'm sure there are people, very smart and brilliant people in India and in Chile, being able to develop new solutions that, of course, will be of use. That is something that we need to work together. For the good of all sides.
So the policy makers, both sides has to come. Like CEPA is doing a wonderful job, and the CEPA they are doing a good job.
Yes, the CPA. Yeah, we are working on that, and we hope that we will continue working. All these instruments, the PTA, we signed years ago, and the CEPA that we are going to sign, I hope, are not an objectives by themselves. It's just a means to increase trade, to increase investment, to increase people contacts, to increase knowledge between both sides of the equation. And I am very confident that we can continue on that path.
On CEPA, definitely I'm coming later, but before that, I would like to talk on cultural synergies as diplomatic levels, because having immersed yourself in India's rich cultural tapestry, have you observed any unexpected bilateral trade partnerships, especially in niche sectors?
Yes, of course. I could mention, for instance, just on top of my mind, for instance, this what I mentioned, this family ties, the respect for family traditions. But for instance, I have observed that in India many people use fruits and fresh products in festive occasions as gifts. They offer products to each other, or be part of some rituals, or they go in the temple to there's a use for fresh fruits or products that Chile is producing, that are more than just merely the consumption, eating the product, which is also very important. But there are some other things that are there. Secondly, for instance, I know that there is a tendency on telling the story of something in India, how a particular product will be produced, why people will be doing this, what represents for a particular group of people. You're talking about niche products. Yes. We have, for instance, a production of very, very rich fresh fruits, wines. Also, there's family tradition in producing wines. So there are several elements that you can use to promote better the storytelling of something. India, of course, has a lot of this on the elements that are cultural, but also very influential, like yoga, for instance, which is something that is well known in Chile, and it could be mentioned as an element of the soft power of India. So we could use in a diplomatic way this element, storytelling, link between fruits being used for in the festivities, festivals here. And again, it's a happy coincidence that many of our products are arriving when here is the festive season. I'm thinking in the end of the year. Diwali, yes, late October, something like that. Because our summer is February, March, April is finishing. So the time of transportation, these products arrive perfectly timely to benefit the Indian consumers.
That's a beautiful example.
Yes, yes. We just do not have products, own products here. So more than a threat or a problem, I see these complementarities as an asset. Taking advantage of our geographical position, as I mentioned in the beginning.
Yes. Ambassador, I would like to know more for our listener and for the corporate industry that Chilean is known for investment hub, foreign investment. If you can shed some light on that, and you can talk a little bit on the startup part also, if any Indian startup company is going. So
Yes.
that would be great for our incubators and the startups who are looking to set up in the foreign land.
Yes, of course. Thank you. That is a good question in terms of what we are trying to do with India, which it is not only trade, because it's important. The relationship cannot be only trade based.
Yes.
I mean, I sell you buy it. That is very fine.
Yes.
But we can also explore, as you mentioned, investments. In that part, I am very happy, of course, because Chile is a country well known for stability, for the rule of law, openness of the economy. We are a very stable country. We're members of OCDE. Our ratings in terms of debt, macroeconomics are very, very positive, and we have had very long history of very successful case studies on investments. Our investment committee was replaced by something called Invest Chile, is periodically providing information about what possibilities are in the country. They have booklets available on the internet. I could just mention the infrastructure, I could mention telecommunications, I can mention the renewable energies, I can mention many areas, mining, services, e-commerce. We have a very developed bank system. The penetration of internet is also very huge. We have just signed yesterday, the day before yesterday, a contract with Google to establish a submarine connection between South America and Southeast Asia, direct. There are many very good connectivity. Many companies have chosen Chile as headquarters for their regional because of that, among other reasons. The TCS, Tata Consultancy Services, that I'm sure the audience will know very well, the headquarters are in Chile, and not in some other countries. And many examples. Indian companies are going there, and they are having good results on their investments. We are very open. The embassy is very open. It will be the first door to knock for this inquiries. And coming back to the startup part, yes.
Yeah, because I read somewhere that Chilean startup hub is known as dubbed as Silicon Valley of Latin America.
Well, yeah, we are trying to be good in this area. We started our startup program years ago. Very good. There are different tools on that startup program. I will not say now because it's more technical, but we have programs for seeds, innovation, different levels of the life cycle of the life of the project, where we give money, we support, we give a space, environment, visa, different areas. If somebody in the audience is interested, it's just Google Startup Chile and you will have all the information. It's very easy. Missions of a startup have come from Chile have come to India, and we think that it is in fact, maybe you don't know, but the fourth user of our program is people from India, and we have had a couple of cases of people from India very successful in the project, and they moved to Chile. They are now living there, and they are going and growing the company. We have the talent of people, ideas, creativity. The program is very successful, but of course India has the scale that sometimes we don't have. So there is again a very good element of complementarity between our two countries. Again, we are using this startup program to facilitate and create business. And the ecosystem of this program is very well developed. We have had years of experience in it, and we invite all the members of the audience that are interested again, either contact the embassy or just Google it. They will have all the information needed in English, and it's a very good program that I am all the time promoting in India.
So, in short, we can say that for Indian startups, Chilean embassy is the first step to connect with the Chilean innovation networks.
Of course, we would be the first to contact. Of course, it is not compulsory. There are internet sites there. You can go directly to those centers or use the channel of the embassy. The good thing is now that the connectivity is so wide that you can easily reach from, I don't know, somewhere in Coimbatore or some in the real south of India, go reach Chile very easily.
Have you experienced such things happen that from the corner of part of the South India, someone had reached out directly, and from your headquarters you are getting something?
I don't know from where, for instance, these two people that moved from India to Chile, but yeah, could be. Why not? I mean, the creativity is everywhere, not in the big cities.
So now we are moving towards the closing, and we should look ahead. And I cannot wrap up this without knowing the recent the impact of high-level visit and the CEPA prospects we experience. And so, Ambassador, my question for you in this, in light of President Boric's recent impactful visit to India, how do you envision this momentum, coupled with the push towards a comprehensive economic partnership agreement, CEPA we are talking about, redefining our nation's agriculture and trade landscapes over the next decade?
Well, the visit.
Congratulations on that visit. Definitely.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes, indeed, it was a very successful visit. We had high expectations for this visit, and everything was fulfilled. And also, I am very happy to know that from the India side also was very, very well received. We have had 3 visits of an Indian president to Chile, and we have had 3 visits to India of an Indian president in the last years. Last visit was Michelle Bachelet in 2009 from a Chilean president to India. Of course, all these visits are the result and a big a milestone on the relationship between two countries. But before the visit of the president, we had the visit of the delegation of the Director General of Chile, Ignacio Fernandez, to India. He led a delegation, a private public mission from Chile. I would like to highlight the fact that it's a public-private endeavor, because after this visit in 2023, we had the visit of the Minister of Foreign Affairs with the Minister of Agriculture, some other people coming, and again a delegation public-private. Then we had our Vice Minister of Commerce a couple of times participating in the India Latin American and Caribbean conclave. We had our Secretary of Commerce coming. So the visit of the President was a preparation, a culmination of a series of political and commercial contacts in the last years. From that point of view, I would say that it was a very good milestone in our relationship, and allowed us to impulse the launching of the negotiations, because both sides recognized that there was a win-win opportunity. So the visit also, during the visit we signed some agreements, for instance cooperation in Antarctica, for instance cooperation in the management of disasters. Unfortunately, both countries, we are prone of either fires, earthquakes, floods, and different kinds of disasters. and we have a good experience in how to manage those. So that area, that is an area of further cooperation among many others. Interesting, we signed with the government of Karnataka. We enter into an innovation hub from the government of Karnataka, the first Latin American country doing that. The idea is to develop innovation and joint efforts that you mentioned in one of your questions on what to do together. Well, yes. This is one a good example beside that. And also some other agreements in the cultural. We also signed the program for several, the 2025, 2027 cultural exchange. But these visits are a milestone because they act many times as a trigger for launching initiatives. And of course, we were very happy to receive in Chile the visit of Prime Minister Modi one day. We were very happy to receive also some other authorities from India. This high-level contacts and diplomacy helps a lot in moving the respective bureaucracies. And we think that this recent visit is a very good example. Just after the visit, I signed from Chile side the terms of reference of the CEPA, and just 2 weeks after that, we received in India the first negotiators from Chile, 15 people that spent 1 week here with the counterparts of India in the first round of negotiations. So give the pace to advance and translate ideas, proposals into concrete fact for the good of the producers, consumers, of innovators of two sides.
Congratulations, ambassadors. So many developments post President visit and the latest development on CEPA. So let's move on to the unpredictable global economic landscape. What proactive measures or innovations do both Chile and India need to adopt to ensure that our bilateral trade, especially in sectors like perishable produce and high quality nuts, remains resilient and mutually beneficial?
Well, I think what we have been doing is one response to this unpredictable world, because we are precisely, the President said in his speech in the Council of World Affairs that we need, in our time, we need more bridges, we need open doors, we need more contacts instead of closing doors. And this negotiation of CEPA is a very good example of what we should do together. Again, we have a long experience in negotiating free trade agreements, other kind of agreements. We have the country that has most of that in the world. And we know, of course, that this should be a win-win situation. We are not negotiating on Chilean terms, we are not negotiating on Indian terms. We are negotiating to find an equitable solution, midpoint between the interests and sensibilities of each country. That is something that we both sides said that it should be equitable, it should be ambitious, should be covering the most, but of course taking care of the own sensibilities on each side.
Ambassador, can you shed some light on the renewable energy? Like Chile is a member of International Solar Alliance.
Yes.
So if you can shed quickly on this subject.
Well, yes, of course. That is a very interesting question also, because we are doing a lot on renewable energies. In Chile, we are transforming very quickly our grid from fuel-based to a more and more renewable-based grid. We are going with a plan. We have our commitment to be zero emissions or net zero emissions in 2050, and we are incorporating more and more renewables. Unfortunately, we have a very good position in terms of solar energy, in terms of position of the amount of solar energy that we receive in the country. And we have also, especially in the south of the country, a lot of wind energy. This combination of these two, wind and solar, are more and more allowing us more and more to introduce more renewables in the matrix, in the grid. Of course, technology is advancing. So now I think we have installed one or two combined fields of producing photovoltaic. It is not just using during the period of solar exposition, but also by night, because we charge some batteries, and then this allows a continuous flow of energy. And just to mention, in the south of the country, because of this low cost of renewable, we are being able to produce, or we are being able to think of the production of a very low cost of green hydrogen. That could be one good response for the needs in the future of clean energy and green energy. So we are very well positioned in that. Again, investments are coming, production is being done, and technologies are being developed in that area. So renewables is definitely something that we are trying to foster in Chile.
So, Ambassador, before we conclude, there's some interesting section for our audience. Is that first, reflecting on your journey and the significant shifts witnessed in Chile and India relation, what is the one strategic initiative or legacy you hope will define this new era of bilateral cooperation, and what lasting impact do you envision it having?
But there are different ways to proceed on this. Negotiation of this agreement is, of course, one important step. More people-to-people contacts. I am speaking not only the cultural, not only bringing one artist or group of artists. I'm thinking of supporting the connection between universities, because they have a direct contact with students, with academicians who are sharing knowledge, who are sharing research. Some universities have had the idea to start, for instance, a chair Tagore in Chile, to allow students interested to study Hinduism, the Indo studies, in a more academic way. Any exchange that could be done, films, artists, yoga, as I mentioned in Chile, that it will cover the knowledge, the people-to-people contact, increase tourism from Chile to India, from India to Chile, for instance, will also help. Business-to-business contacts are very important. So there is a lot of alternatives that we could think of to increase and improve the relationship, that are on complements that we could do on the political side. We have a very strong collaboration with India in different areas, fora. We have common interests, we have common values as well. So we of course are against terrorism, we are against the depletion of the environment. We are also taking care of the ocean, the health of the ocean. In many areas we have a common view. So of course we respect the Charter of the United Nations. We follow in our international policy these principles, so same as India, and we should not limit the exchange between our two countries only on commerce. There is a huge ground for more literature, for instance. Yes. Now we are trying to present Chile as a center, or as a possibility for shooting Indian films in the country, as other countries have done, and that will be great in terms of we will be able to reach huge numbers of audience in a single chart.
That's true.
And that is something that we are looking forward. Again, we have a very good natural sceneries, unique natural sceneries. I'm thinking of Eastern Island, the Atacama Desert, vineyards in the center of Chile, the south, Patagonia glaciers, our astronomical facilities. I mean, many things are there, and also incentives and facilities for producers to go and work with the Chilean counterparts.
That's a new edition.
Yes, that is something that we are trying to promote when the minister came here in 2024. We did first edition of what we call Shooting in Chile event.
Yeah.
And after that, some producers of India were invited to our country. They selected several locations. They say yes, it could be. This is the first knowledge. And when the president came here, we did the second edition of this Shooting in Chile, and we hope that. And then the producers that were in Chile, they explained what they saw to the Indian audience. So we are expecting that something could come from there. Anything that could help in increase the knowledge, the mutual knowledge, will be beneficial for both sides.
Wish you all the best for this new venture, for the Shooting in Chile.
Shooting in Chile.
Yeah, we would be excited to see our Bollywood movie in Chile soon.
Yeah.
So, Ambassador, as a special addition to our Rare Talks format, before we wrap up, we are excited to introduce our rapid fire round for our audience. A quick, fun, and engaging segment for our listeners. So, just say the first thing, whatever comes in your mind. Are you ready for that?
It is always dangerous to say first thing that you have in your mind, especially for a diplomat. But,
let's see how fast you can go. Yeah. So my first question over to you. One word to describe Chile-India relations.
Two words: huge potential. Yes.
A Chilean dish Indian audiences must try.
Well, for the vegetarian part of the Indian audience, I would say pastel de choclo or humita, which is a corn-based meal. It's very tasty. And for the non-vegetarian, I could say ceviche, for instance, and we have our own version of producing. Is very nice. So that I could say.
Biggest strength of Chile as a global business hub.
Innovation, capacity of innovation and creation.
An industry in Chile that Indian investors should explore.
Well, there are several industries, but for instance, renewable energies could be one.
Good to go. Most surprising similarity between Chile and India?
That will be on the cultural part, is respect for family traditions, taste for reading.
Your go-to phrase in Spanish that everyone should know?
For a word, would be amigo.
Translate in English.
Amigo is friend.
Good one. That's a good one. Big applause for you. You did very good. So, Ambassador, that was really fun. And what final message would you like to share with our audiences?
Well, I would like to invite your audience to know more about Chile. Do more research about what the country is, and you will be surprised to find many things that you are unexpected for you. To find out what products we can offer to India, what you would find if you go as a tourist to Chile, what would be the adventures that we can go do together, and you can look for in YouTube or any Google or any social media things about Chile, and also Indians in Chile. There are not that many of Indians in Chile, but they are having a good experience and they are developing business and they are finding new things in my country. So I would call everybody to know more and be more interested in Chile and what do we have to offer to you.
Thank you very much, Ambassador, and wish you all the best. We at the Blue Moon here to support you, and thank you very much for your valuable time and the insightful and incredible conversation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ambassador.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was our rare talk with His Excellency Mr. Juan Angulo, the Ambassador of Chile to India. Our journey across 6 transformative years of diplomacy, trade, and cultural resonance. From the echoes of the President's visit to the evolving dialogue on CEPA, we hope this episode offered you not just information but insight. As the Blue Moon continues to trace stories that connect nations through news, I thank you for listening. In our next episode, we pivot to celebration Uruguay's bicentennial with not me, but 2 voices from Uruguay, joining us to explore 200 years of independence, innovation, and international friendship. So stay with us for more stories, more rare perspectives, and more heart. Hasta pronto, con gratitud. This is Rare Talks by Jjuliaa Gangwani, presented by the Blue Moon.